Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Cat Woods. So I'm going to share with you today a little bit, I guess you could say like a tutorial. This has been a highly requested video, so thank you for all of you who had requested this video. I greatly appreciate it. So you've asked how, Cat, are you making your lines so straight? How are you writing so tiny? I mean, it's like the same size and the same print as the font. So the, the only thing I can really tell you is it takes practice. As you could tell at the very beginning, yeah, I had no idea what I was going to do. So I figured the best thing that I can do is share the tips that I have learned so you can learn from my mistakes. Okay, so looking at this first page here, you could tell that I got all the words over here, but I was able to separate it because I knew coming into it I wanted it to look exactly like the next page. So I wanted just those words right over here. But I didn't know how many words to fit on, see how I came all the way over here to the very edge. It's completely uneven. For someone who is OCD like myself, this drives me crazy. I wish I would have caught this. I wish I would have thought about it. I mean, I can't be mad at myself because I just didn't know. I was so worried about all these words fitting over here. I truly was. And when I first started, I was using the Micron pins. I have you at a different angle. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not. Okay, when I first started, I was using the Micron pins, and I don't know if you can really tell, but they start like squishing together because of the tip. The tip is more of a marker, so when you write down with the any Micron, they kind of flare out a little bit. The ink will flare out. You can see it right here too. So I tried it with my Pilot G-Tech, which is right here in the middle. That looks completely clean. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll try it, another pin. So this is right here, as you can see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is like 4 different pins that I am trying to use. The Micron, there was the Pilot G-Tech, there was my Pentel. So yeah, I'm trying everything out. I'm trying to get used to not only writing small, not only figuring out how many words. It literally all is a process. But my biggest struggle with not only the pen, so you guys have to work that out amongst yourself. I don't know how you guys like your style. I don't know any of that. You may be okay with the Micron pens. That may be something that you can do. Like, see, like this, like a simple word as day and night. Just the micro, just because it's a marker, it just claims it all clues. It makes it look like it's just a splat. I don't like that. I like it clean. I like it crisp. So yeah, that stopped really fast. So I quit using the Micron. Anything with the marker tip. I think it was a Sharpie. Yeah, I do believe I shared all my pins. In every single video, I share all my pins with you. So if you watch my very first one, I think it was a Sharpie fine liner. I do believe. It was another marker tip. Don't like those, so I don't recommend them at all. If you want to learn from my mistakes, use the pin. Anything that has a pin tip, and the smaller the better. So far, my all-time favorite go-to is the Pentel, and it's the 03 millimeter. Love this one. So if you're trying to do exactly what I'm doing, here's the little barcode for you guys. Grab this pen. Yes, you're going to use right now, I think I've used 7 of them from Genesis to the book of Judges. But yeah. Okay, so figure out the pen and figure out how you want it. Here's another thing, you guys. I don't know for sure because this is just the way I'm doing it. You may know you can't do that. I was gonna say you can probably try to do a single column, just make it all across here. I mean, you could try. Who knows? You may be able to do it, but you may need more pages in the end. So I don't know if you're okay with adding more pages at the back of the Bible. I don't know. This is a learning process for me. Vellum is your best friend. This right here is what can help teach you to write small. This right here is what can help guide you to how small you need to write. All right. So what I'm saying over here. Let me make sure I get you. All right. You should be able to see this. I have you on my desk, but when I sit down, I won't be able to see what I'm doing. So I do hope this is okay. Well, let me try to stand up. All right. So I'm going to write on the vellum. I'm not going to write on my Bible. So at the very beginning, we need to know, because we need to write as small as it is over here. So just pick any sentence that you see. This is vellum, okay? Write on the vellum any sentence. So we're going to write in the beginning. Oh, my pen. God created the heavens. And I've been doing this for a minute, so I kind of already know, what I'm doing. But so this is how you get used to it. Right now, this is just like a small little sleeve. You can't really tell that's a B. You can't really tell that's a B. But yeah, so this is how you get used to it. And just use like a whole sheet of vellum. And just practice. Practice staying on the line. Practice. I mean, don't do like I kind of went off. You see how my S, oh, you can't see. All right. You see how my S is over here in the middle? You don't want that. So practice again on the next, right below it. Just start right here on the next sentence, okay? Try to keep your focus so you can see. I apologize, it's a cloudy day. So we're going to do it all over again. And then doing this, you can start to know exactly how close your words need to be, how small they need to be. And now I wrote it a bit smaller. This isn't part of it. This is just me showing you where the next sentence was going to be. All right. So it's practice. I mean, it does look intimidating. I don't know if it does to everybody. I know I would have been like, whoa, what? I can't do that. But you can. You can. Especially if you're a journaler like me and enjoy just writing. You guys, this has been the most beneficial scripture writing I have ever done, is writing out whole books of the Bible, literally whole books of the Bible. So the first page, you could tell I'm all over the place. You could tell different pins. Still here, still trying to figure out the pins, still trying to figure out my style. I'm really writing really big. As you could tell, raw here is like just, that's another thing I was getting used to, is writing cursive, y'all. Cursive. I haven't done it since I was in school. Like that, so I'm still learning, teaching my hand how to flow with being cursive. You could tell there's no, like, the letters are just splashed onto the page, which it's okay because it's, again, a learning process. This is with my Pilot G-Tex. You can always tell the Pilot G-Tex because they're super dark, which I like it, but kind of not in this Bible because the letters are so, small and put together. It kind of just looks like it blends in and just blobs together. So let's just skip on through a little bit. I'll just go a little bit faster. And right here, 2 different pins. This is another thing that you're going to find too. But then this is how you can tell. And I get jokes all the time, and there's a sweet brother that jokes with me all the time. He's always saying like, no, Kat, you're just photocopying it. It's like that you're not really doing it, you're just photocopying it. It's literally a joke, but this is how you can like show everybody like, no, this is a real human, because you can see human error. So this pin right here ran out. So I had to start a whole new pin. So you know how when you start a pin, the ink has a problem, with coming out, with actually flowing? You can see it right here. It's barely coming out, and then it starts to like really focus, phone. It really starts to get into its groove. So you can barely see my chapter numbers at the beginning because I was just using the same pen that I was writing and just writing in the chapter numbers. So I did my very best to keep the same words, to keep the chapter numbers together. It doesn't always happen like that, especially at the beginning. I was really, really struggling with it. And at the beginning, I also had no idea. I would lose my spot. All the time I was losing my spot because I'm a house mommy. So I have my kitties, I have my husband, I have my son. Everyone's asking me questions. If someone calls on the phone, I have to answer it. So I was forever losing my spot. Must have key that I have figured out what you use. Get one of these Post-it notes and put the arrow. Just draw a little arrow. You can cut it down so you don't have to, especially when it's over here. When you close the Bible, it would just flop off. So cut it down to where it won't affect when you put it over here. All right. So put the little arrow. I'm going to start on chapter 3, obviously, because I'm right here. But this way you will know. When someone says, "Hey, mommy," "Hey, daddy," whoever's doing this, grab this marker. Be like, "Hold on a second. Hold on a second." Place it right where you need it. All right. This will help you. This will help you so much. Not make the mistakes that I had to do at the beginning because I was not taught. No one taught me. No one gave me nothing. There was no kind of videos on YouTube over doing what I'm doing now. There is a gentleman that has done it, way back in the day, but he definitely didn't leave no tutorial for us. He didn't tell us his tips. So I'm having to learn how to do this, and I'm sharing all of my tips with you all. So any kind of little sticker, if you got tape, I don't suggest tape because you have to pull it back off. Just get a Post-it note. Post-it notes are your best friend. Make the little arrow so you know exactly which sentence you're on. Okay? So that was another one. And if by any chance you wrote down, maybe because that's what I did. I wrote down a sentence 2 times. Wrote down a sentence 2 times, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm writing that, but I just remember writing that. I looked up and I read. I was like, oh, I did just write that. No worries. Come back here to the back, you guys. So you could probably think like, oh yeah, Kat never makes mistakes. Wrong. I am human. So look at this back page that I butchered. Yes, these are all the mistakes that I have made, but you all will never see them because I'm using the same exact paper. So however long the mistake is, I will come back here and measure the little strip of paper that I need, and I go back and I glue it down. So it's the same color paper that's on here. So don't go getting some copy paper. Don't go getting a little Post-it note and try to cover it up. Do not use whiteout. This is not white paper. This is tan paper. So that's why I say come back here and grab all the extra paper that you really don't need and then put it into the Bible. That's my other biggest, greatest tip that I can give you all. All right. So, all right, we're all right here in the book of Exodus. Let me also show you what I'm doing at the end of the book. Okay, at the end of the book, I didn't do it in Genesis. Well, because I still didn't know. All right, so here's another mistake that I am smacking myself. I don't know why. Why did I start my sentence down here? Why didn't I start it up here? I mean, oh, okay, this is why. So I'm copying on the next page. The book of Exodus is right here. So I I guess the shadow from the next page. That's another thing I'll explain here in a minute. But the shadow from the next page, and I'm like, I write right there. I'm a human again. This isn't. I made a photocopy and I put it there. I am a human, so I make a mistake. But I wish I would have put down the month. This is what I'm doing now. I'm putting down the month and the date and the year that I finished writing out this whole book. So once the whole book is done, I date it. So again, another learning process. As I learn, I write it down, I do them. All right. So this is the book of Exodus. I just write out with the bolder pen. So probably a fine, like a fine line Sharpie is probably how I did that. And then you can see my chapter numbers. They are now bold. So I suggest getting a pack of these. They're still the same ones that I shared the first time, but this is a whole pack. So you will get a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, and an 8. The 8 is the one that I'm using for titling and for the number chapters. So they're like bold. They really stand out differently from this 3. All right. Oh, if you want to see this one too. But yeah, this whole experience, you guys. Oh, I love it. It is a lot of work. If you have been watching my playlist, this one page can take me up to an hour, 2 hours. It depends on how long and how many words are on a page, just for one page. So you really have to be dedicated. You really have to be disciplined in order to do something like this. But once you do it and you go back and you look through all the pages that you've done, you won't want to, for me, I don't want to stop. I don't. I am so driven. My spirit is so enlightened. I learned so much more because this is another thing. So say I'm just now started on chapter 13. I come over here. I don't read the whole chapter. I mean, you can, if you want to. At the beginning, I was so ambitious. That's what I used to do. I used to read the whole chapter. I'm not going to remember what I read that much. I'm Cat. I'm special. So, I was reading the whole chapter, and I was like, oh, I don't even remember what I read. So, I come over here. The Lord said to Moses, really soak that up. The Lord said to Moses, okay. The Lord said to Moses, wrote it down. Concentrate to all the firstborns. And that's how I did it. I kept reading that and kept trying to soak those little few words into my spirit until I was okay to write them down. That was another thing. I would catch myself writing down a sentence, and then in the middle part I would put the Lord said to Moses, and I would add something little because I am a journaler, so I'm used to just my whole day and this and that, but this and that, just adding the little itty bitty words that are not in the scripture, but that I'm used to. I started making it as if I'm actually journaling it. That's how I was like, no, and that's probably why I made so many mistakes, because I was seeing it like that. I had to stop myself. I had to slow myself way down. That's another thing. You would catch yourself trying to speed through it because you want to see this whole page done. You want to get this done so fast. You can't do that. You really can't do that. You have to take the time on each little word. And another tip that I can give when you're writing, focus. Don't just write out the word like the Egyptians were urgent with the people. Just don't write that down. Draw. The Egyptians were urgent with the people. All right? Each little letter, don't write it down, draw it, because once you're drawing it, your hand starts to get used to the motion, and then the further on you go down, you start seeing a pattern. My words, my letters are not all over the place how they were at the beginning. Like if you see, let me get on the page over here. Like how here you see this, they're all over the place. There's no letters that are in sync. They're not going the same pattern. Your hand starts to get used to it. You start to form your own little style. So don't write out the letter, each letter to form a, word. Draw that little letter. Some of them you can see are a little bit better than others. So it's, again, practicing. I love how this came out. Oh, and your mood. If you're anything like me, you will be able to see your mood in your writing. So if you see my words all crazy, I was probably a little bit aggravated, frustrated, and I was coming to my Bible to ask the Lord to help take that from me. So you could see it in my actual writing. Other days, I'm so excited, so blessed just to be able to write out the Holy Scripture, and you can also see that too. But yes, the vellum is what I can really say. I love this page. Look at that. Love that. Oh, so beautiful. That probably took me about 3 hours to do. So if you want it to really look good, you really got to take your time. You got to allow yourself to take the time. There's the next page. So, oh yeah, and hold on a second. I get some water. Sorry about that. My voice is going dry on me. Okay. Oh, and many have asked, how do you write so straight? How do you get? Because I'm starting with a blank slate. That's how I'm starting. All right. But if you look closely, well, that was a good one, I guess. If you look closely, you can see the next page. So you use that as your guide, you guys. I'm not coming in here blindly. I have kind of already pre-set up. This page right here, it's kind of a template, but not really. But that doesn't bug me because I already know what to do. I can, because I've done this for so many months now, since December. I've done it for so many months. I've done it for 297 pages, you all. You see that? I've written out 297 pages. I know how to write straight. And my other tip, so I'm going to show you real quick how I'm doing it, because this is a tutorial, so I am going to show you. I showed you at the beginning how to use the vellum. You keep using that little vellum piece wherever it went to. It's probably still in the Bible somewhere. You keep using that little vellum piece, you guys, and just, if you need a whole sleeve of it, I don't know where it went, but even if you need a whole sleeve of it, use the whole sleeve. Practice writing your letters. Practice until you're comfortable. Oh yeah, here it is. Until you're comfortable with how it looks on here, then apply it to your page. It's no different. It's literally no different. But when because I'm working on this side of the page, it's kind of hard and straining my eyes to look over here. I find it more helpful to use another like Bible. And here's another helpful tip. Use a Bible with large print. This really isn't the best example that I have. I do have a better Bible, but this is mainly the one I use. This is my daily driver right now, so this is what I keep with me. So I use my Bible. I'll have it next to me. I'll read from here, and then I'll write down over here. All right. So that's what you're going to see over here in the corner. You're going to see that. I hope everything is okay here to where you can have a good angle. All right. So we're going into chapter 3. I hope my hand. I'm going to try to keep it to where my hand is not. Turn the tripod a bit. All right. There we go. That's what I was trying to get. All right. So now we're going to read the first, which is, now these are the nations. So we're going to write it down. Oh, you really can't see it. I'll try to do it like this. Hopefully you see this. And you have to throw out, because you have to keep your words and everything so squished together. They're just it has to happen that way because they're so tiny. I mean, if you look over here, these look squished together. So don't worry about, oh well, I have to use so many spaces in between. No, just you keep practicing until you get what I'm trying to say. Okay, now these are the nations that the Lord left. So we're going to write in that Lord. I always capitalize Lord. That the Lord left. And if I know I can't fit it over here, I'm going to drop down to the next sentence. To test Israel. To test Israel by them. All in Israel who had, and I'm using the next page as kind of like the same thing as a guide to help keep it straight, or keep my sentence straight. You can hear my little Twinkies, my little kittens. Experience all the wars. Alright, so I'm not going to make you watch too much of it. But that's really it. You just take your time, you draw. I was kind of going fast there, so I kind of go a little bit slower so I can make sure everything, is good. But I've been doing it again for a while, many months now, so I kind of already know what and how I have to do everything. Alright, so I do hope this was helpful. If you do have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I do love communicating with you all, and I love coming back and sharing whatever I can, especially when it comes to little projects that I'm doing, especially when there's none of them on, here on YouTube. So that's super exciting. No one else I have seen share this process. So if you would, please share this playlist. I do have a playlist where I start from the beginning to the end, to help get it out there so others, it may be able to inspire somebody else to start it. But if you have any questions, leave them below. I would love to talk to you. Remember, be a creative tool in our Father's art box today. I love you all, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.